Gypsy Rose Blanchard's communication with her ex-fiance, Ken Urker, is a source of contention between her and her ex-husband, Ryan Anderson. The new teaser for Gypsy Rose Blanchard's upcoming Lifetime docuseries, Gypsy Rose: Life After Lockup, features her managing relationships after being released from jail. The beginning of the video shows Gypsy in the car with her ex-husband, Ryan Anderson. "Are you happy?" Gypsy queries Ryan. "I'm overjoyed," he declares. Gypsy says with tears in her eyes, "I just think that I would be happier somewhere else." "Make a call to Ken." Ryan alludes to Gypsy's ex-fiance, Ken Urker, saying, "You're probably already talking to him anyway." Clearly, Ken was back in Gypsy's sphere as the recently freed celebrity examines life after prison. He's trying to weasel his way back in because now Gypsy's out of prison. Ryan adds about Ken. In addition to revealing her tattoo and discussing her impending nuptials with Ryan, Gypsy talks about how much she's loving her newfound freedom. She continues, "I am kind of rushing things and wanting to do everything all at once." And then she says, "We had sex. It was not safeguarded." When asked if she's pregnant, Gypsy beams. However, it appears that Gypsy and her husband are having trouble as she tells him, "I don't want to be controlled." Adds, "You're mad at me because I confided in someone." She is eventually heard declaring, "I'm going to want a divorce." The next scene shows Gypsy sprinting over to Ken and leaping into his arms while he spins her around. Through a prison pen pal program, Gypsy and Ken became acquainted while Gypsy was incarcerated for the second-degree murder of her mother, D.D. Blanchard. In 2016, Gypsy and her boyfriend at the time, Nicholas Goodjohn, were found guilty of planning D.D.'s murder. D.D. had been controlling her daughter's life by fabricating a diagnosis of terminal illness. After completing 85% of her sentence, she was granted her release from prison in December 2023. Gypsy and Ken were engaged in 2019, but they broke up. It was while incarcerated that Gypsy made her relationship with Ryan, who she married in 2022. Gypsy's reconciliation with Ryan coincides with her renewed love affair with Ken. As ET previously reported, she petitioned a local court for a restraining order against her estranged spouse shortly after filing for divorce from Ryan in early April. "I think that I'm entering into a new era in my life, definitely having learned a lot about myself over these last 4 months," Gypsy said in an interview with ET earlier this month. "I believe that at this point in my life, all I'm really trying to do is move forward, sort of revealing and discovering who I am." In addition, Gypsy revealed to ET her plans for Ryan, revealing that he was moving despite their long-distance relationship. "He's actually going to be moving to Louisiana to be closer to me," Gypsy stated to ET. The couple is hopeful about their future. The Gypsy Rose: Life After Lockup star tells ET. Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her former fiancé, Ken Urker, are moving forward in their relationship. While chatting with ET's Dieter Bihar on the Lifetime for Your Consideration red carpet in Los Angeles on Wednesday, the 32-year-old Gypsy Rose, Life After Lockup star mentioned Urker. "Unfortunately, tonight's not date night," she replied. "He lives in Dallas, and I live in Louisiana." But she also disclosed that they won't be apart for too long. "He's actually going to be moving to Louisiana to be closer to me," Gypsy stated to ET. Through a prison pen pal program, Gypsy and Ken became acquainted while Gypsy was incarcerated for the second-degree murder of her mother, D.D. Blanchard. After becoming engaged in 2019, the couple broke up, and while Gypsy was incarcerated, she made contact with Ryan Scott Anderson, who she'd eventually married in 2022. Gypsy's split from Ryan coincides with her renewed love for Ken. According to ET, she requested a restraining order against her estranged spouse from a local court not long after filing for divorce from Anderson in early April. As for Gypsy and Ken, "I think with our history, We've always had a very close connection," Gypsy stated on Wednesday. "Our reunion has been made possible by having that foundation, and we are excited about what lies ahead for us. I mean, genuinely, I'm trying my hardest to move on with my life, even though I know I'm going through a tough moment right now." Regarding whether it might involve wedding bells, once more, Gypsy isn't discounting it. Gypsy gave an explanation for why she won't be running down the aisle, even though she thinks Ken is the one. She remarked, "I've always said Ken was my soulmate," to ET. "However, I want to moderate myself, so I don't want to go too quickly. I don't want to oversimplify things or set unrealistic expectations. At the moment," she stated, "we're just basically enjoying our time together, and,